Now, we're in the middle of a series of high tides. Drone View 7 flew above San Francisco's Embarcadero by Pier 14 to capture these shots of the high water levels.
Yeah, what a sight. Today's high tide was several feet higher than normal, a phenomenon known as king tides that were once a mystery but now easily predicted thanks to many decades of data.
That's right. ABC 7 News reporter Jonathan Bloom got to learn more about the king tide inside the tiny building where that data is collected.
At the end of a narrow pier in the shadow of the Golden Gate Bridge sits a tiny house with a big job.
It is actually the oldest tide station in the entire hemisphere.
Ever since the gold rush, oceanographers have charted the tides from this spot.
We've got real paper on a rotating barrel with a pencil.
Now in the digital age, pressure sensors take readings underwater and send them out by satellite.
And these are all on backup systems, so we have two of everything.
It's that critical because low tides can mean danger for big ships.
Fog is a huge factor, and so knowing precisely where you are and whether you're likely to have your vessel pushed into a rugged coastline, it's literally a matter of life and death.
This week's king tides give ships extra room to maneuver.
The king tides are the highest high tides of the year.
King tides may be good news if you're navigating the waters of the bay, but they're not always such good news on the coastline, especially for wildlife.
Not only does the tide itself run up onto the beach further than it normally would, but it brings with it a lot of debris.
For seals and sea lions, it means less room for moms to nurse their newborn pups and a danger the young ones could get washed out to sea. For birds, the trash is the problem.
Not only do they eat marine debris, but they'll also feed it to their young. They'll use marine debris to build their nests.
The Farallones Marine Sanctuary tracks the debris, which can often stay on the beach until a storm puts it back in the water. But storms plus high tides bring another problem.
You can actually see behind me here some erosion that's already sort of started because of today and yesterday's king tides.
Erosion on beaches and flooding on streets and highways.
We tend to see a lot of potential damage and impacts to infrastructure.
But this year, we've dodged a bullet. The king tides have ended before the storms are set to begin. In San Francisco, Jonathan Bloom, ABC 7 News.